Hi Libra, welcome to your Empress reading for the whole of the year actually as we journey through the Zodiac, the Fool's Journey that is. This is intended to be a romantic love reading, but it may resonate in other areas of your life. Also, this may resonate as yours or your person's moon, rising, or Venus sign. So the Empress, when the Fool arrives at the Empress, for me, and the way I created this spread was about looking at what in your life you could nurture, what needs nurturing, what is coming to nurture you. So how to best navigate this year with your needs in mind and what you need to nurture, and quite possibly in yourself, your relationship, that sort of thing. All right. And what's coming along to offer nurturing to you also. All right, Libra. Libra. Okay, Empress. Ooh. The Magician, Gemini, Virgo, or Aries. Not too shabby. 9 of Swords. Oh, let's take care of that. 2 of Pentacles. 5 of Wands. There you go. 10 of Swords. Queen of Wands. She keeps showing up across the board. All these readings, she keeps showing up. Aries. The Moon. Pisces or Cancerian here. Can you? Yep, we can still see that. Okay. 6 of Cups. 7 of Pentacles. Okay. All right. So let's take a look here. Something's been bugging you. You need to get to the bottom of that. That's for sure. Somebody needs to make a decision. All right. You have been abiding a situation that does not suit. It's bothering you, and you need to bring it up and bring it to conclusion, or you need to bring resolution to what's been bugging you. We got 9, 10, and then 1 here, and we got the fear card, the intuition, the what's behind the closed door card. So this, you got something that's really, it's like enough is enough. You've been abiding something that doesn't agree with you, but you've been doing it, waiting for your person to quite possibly come to their senses and make a decision and take the initiative here. And they haven't, and you need to address that. This needs to be you taking action from that standpoint, looking out for your self, your best self, the life you want to live, what you want. You've got somebody that you think it's worth it, or you're thinking about, if it's not so much in the relationship, this is about you being in a situation that just doesn't suit, doesn't agree anymore, and you're needing to get a handle on that, romantic or not. It's about you making some decisions and bringing clarity and peace and restoring peace in your world. Okay, so what's this 9 of Swords? The thing is that for the Libras I'm reading for, you, things are very simple. They either are or they aren't. Not that it's black or white thinking, but there doesn't need to be a whole heck of a lot of drama around it. And I think that's what's bothering so much, is that you're not inclined to that. Like you just see no need for a chaotic environment. Passionate, yes. Chaotic and drama, no. What's this 9 of Swords? What's this 9 of Swords? 9 of Wands. This 2 of Pentacles for Libra. This 2 of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, that could be Virgo. What's his Five of Wands for Libra? Almost said for Virgo. Ooh, it's a danger of calling out the person for the last card. Seven of Wands. So we got Five of Wands and Seven of Wands. Oh. What's this? 10 of Swords. Yeah, you see, because this person is being kind of stubborn and not really wanting to give an inch here, it's causing you, if you want to keep the relationship or keep the connection, to make all of these concessions that you don't feel right about. That's causing a lot of grief and drama. And it's starting to get to the point where you're gonna respond in kind. Like, you're thinking that the answer is, you know what, well, I can be just as stubborn too. Like, I can be just as strategic and maneuvering and whatever you want to play. You know, like, it's kind of starting to cause that, instead of this sort of like, all right, I need to bring this back to center and focus on who I am, remember who I am. My life is not drama and chaos and ultimatums and threats. And, you know, the benefit of that is it can be a very passionate physical connection, right? But is it worth it? And this is saying it's not. That there's questions about stability here. And if your partner would get off their dang high horse or soapbox or whatever you want to call it, and make some concessions, it wouldn't be tearing you apart like this, and you could have the relationship that you want with them. But consider that they're not about to do that, that they will always keep things chaotic and dramatic, and there will always be this question of security here, of stability, of someone finally choosing you. And this is saying that you need to confront your options right now. Basically, you need to look at what is, because you are coming, like, this is the way it's always been in this relationship. It's almost like you've been waiting for things to kind of calm down and become stable, and for maybe this person to finally choose, and they don't want to. They like the way things are right now. They don't want things any different. So you're going to have to make some decisions about this. And I think there's been this kind of stalling on making any decisions, because that's a really hard thing to accept, that someone is actually choosing chaos and drama over prioritizing a connection with you. They would rather have things their way than to have connection with you. So you've got some decisions to make here. So as far as nurturing what you can nurture yourself, this is about you putting your needs first. Specifically, this speaks to, this right here is it's tearing you up inside. Someone is kind of callously disregarding your feelings here by maintaining that things have to be a certain way if you want connection with them. And it's taking its toll. What's this Queen of Wands right here for Libra? This is Queen of Wands. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Libra, this is about you needing to take some time to figure out what you want to do and what you want, and needing to take some time to come to terms with the dynamic of this relationship for the better part of this year. You need to prioritize and pull back, because this person is not going to change, and so you need to figure out what that means for you. And does that work for you? Is that nurturing? Is it going to be a nurturing relationship? Are you going to get your needs met? It could very well be that you need to think long and hard about that, about what you want to do in your connection with someone, and maybe you just want to keep the physical connection. Or it's about shifting gears and going in a different direction entirely, because you realize that this is not a dynamic that supports two people being in a loving relationship. This is more about someone's way or the highway. and that things will always be chaotic, and it's never going to have that security and stability that you want. Moon card. What's this moon about for Libra? What's this moon about for Libra? Pisces or Cancerian? Oh, we got the kids here. Three of Cups. Alright. What's this Six of Cups? I think the fear here is that if you do confront them about this, is that they're going to date. They're going to not prioritize this. They're going to be like, well, that's okay. I'm just going to still party with my people and date and do all the stuff. Maybe a little bit of overindulging. Could be that you feel like you're competing with their friends or partying or someone's kind of indulgences. You could be competing with that, and you're afraid that if you do confront them about this issue, they don't care. They'll just go to their vices or their trusted, tried and true, tribe and get through it that way. But they're not going to budge from their position, meaning that this won't be a wake-up call, or they won't hear you. That they won't hear your frustration and your sadness, and that you think that, you know what, we're in crisis. Like, we are in crisis, and I need you to acknowledge that, and I want to do something about it. Do you? It could be that there's a real fear here that they're not going to be honest about it, about how they feel. They're not going to want to change anything. They're just going to want to continue with what they're doing, and life's a party, life's a good time. I'm going to go where I'm happiest and most supported, which ideally is where we all want to be, right? But this is to the detriment of relationships or to excess. So not ideal here. What's this Six of Cups? What's this Six of Cups for Libra? Yay. Ace of Pentacles. See, it's that return to innocence. It's that this is you wanting to get your life back on track. This is you being a stabilizing force, preferring things stable and balanced. And this worry and this frustration and this this situation is so frustrating, I've had enough, and but then not doing anything about it because there's sadness involved, right? It needs to be transmuted to remembering who you are, what you want, the stability that you have and that you want and that you normally have in your life, and getting that back. What's this Seven of Pentacles about? This is not about you offering stability to a chaotic relationship or coming up with ideas for stability. This is someone needing to meet you halfway, and they're not. And because of that realization, you've got to make some decisions on that, about that. Like, it doesn't look like what's showing here, it doesn't look like you want to abide that any longer. So this is about you coming to terms with that and doing a deep dive on, all right, what do I want? Is it worth it to keep the physical connection but let this person do their thing? Or do I want the whole package? Do I want to just not for a while? Do I want to even bring this up? Do I want to act like everything's fine until I figured out this is about you figuring out what you want to do and then doing it, taking charge of the situation. Because right now you're in crisis, and you two are at a standstill, and your person's having a gay old time and, happy-go-lucky and not making any kind of changes. It's all been you accommodating and waiting and going against what you... There's an undercurrent here of you doing... fundamentally, Libras are all about balance and doing things appropriately, basically. That can take on a variety of meanings. You are involved in something that you don't feel is right. Like you kind of, um, you're dealing with someone that is very different than you, and that you're doing things that you maybe didn't think you'd do before, that you didn't fall for this type of person before. Like you wouldn't think that you would. You wouldn't think you'd be involved in something like this, whatever this is. I don't know what it is, but there's this element of you wanting to return back to the way you normally are, and that this interaction or relationship has asked you to be different, or in order for you to be with this, you've had to kind of do things that you don't agree with, like, you know, accept less than treatment, or have a relationship maybe that is only online, or maybe you want a stable committed relationship with somebody, but they don't want that. They just want to keep dating, and you're like, well, I'd rather have a little bit of them than nothing. And this is saying, you know what, that's not who you are. This isn't working for you. You need to think about some things here. Think about what you want. Is this worth it for your future stability? Is this going to be what you want? And this is asking you to remember who you are and what you want and what you provide in a relationship. Because you don't need to stabilize this person. You don't need to do that for them. And they're not asking you to. So if you're trying to be that voice of reason, or, okay, enough time has gone by now, can we get to what talking about us? And they're like, there is no us. This is what I've wanted all along. I'm fine with the way things are. I don't want to revisit this. What's this? 7 of Pentacles. Thinking about if you want to go any further with this, because you're needing a return. You're needing this relationship to change or to transform. And the thing is, spoiler alert, you're going to be getting back to basics, as it were. You're going to be going back to the way things were for you. You are going to have that return to who you normally are. But it kind of feels like you're trying to avoid some pain here, or the confrontation of it, and that's unavoidable. You can mitigate it by being a lot more calm and secure, and having done a deep dive on this, you're kind of pretty resolute on, look, I know what I know, and this is who I am, and this is not me. And I would like this with you, but not under these circumstances. So, but this, for this situation, for what needs nurturing for you, for a relationship, but for you primarily, is you need to return back to who you are. What's coming in loud and clear here is that you're part of something, you're doing something that doesn't suit. You don't like what's going on, but I think you're afraid you'll lose the connection if you make your needs known. If you say, hey, there's a way we can work this out, meet me halfway here. I think you know that you're with the person that's not interested in that it's very much their way or the highway, the nature of the relationship. And so you need to take a look at that and figure out what you want to do. You're at the crossroads here, and I think your priorities are shifting now. I think that it's not as simple as maybe you thought it was, and this is about you being able to go back to basics, to have normal ebb and flow in a relationship, to be stable and balanced and things flowing again. And that might very well be without this connection. Because just because you can provide that stability and that very pure, innocent gesture and connection, and things just are, it's very simple for you, no muss, no fuss, no drama, you've you're involved with somebody that it's like they're the exact opposite of that. It's like here you are, and then here they are, or here they are. You know what I mean? And you're like, what? Can't we talk about, like, can we just? And they're like, no, nope. I'm over here doing stuff, and I like this more than I like obligation and connection to someone. And then you're like, gotta figure out what I need to do, because this is not working for me. I need to get back to basics, reconnect with myself, because I'm tired of the shenanigans of not knowing what's going on. Oh. Wait for the chorus. That's my ringtone. And wanting to be connected to somebody that maybe doesn't really want a reciprocal connection. Not yours to stabilize. What else for Libra? This is about being self-protective too, like saying, you know what, in light of all of this, understanding that I've kind of gotten away from what I want and who I am, returning to that means that instead of this person meeting halfway, it might mean that you need to end things for the sake of your integrity and what you want in a connection and relationship with someone. Intuition, we got the moon card here. This is hidden path, the marriage of spirit and matter. This is about integrating logic and intuition. Doesn't have to be logic per se, but we got some swords here. But this is here. We got some soulful, intuitive cards here, and this is the marriage of that. This is action and logic and intuition working together so that you can make a decision. And it looks like you've been stalling on making that decision. You can't not know what you know, and I think you don't want the sadness and the ending for that. You want this new beginning. And so this is a year of it feels like, though, Libra, that you're going to spend a lot of time thinking about what to do about this, that you're not going to really take any action. You know that you need to, but you're going to be thinking a lot about what to do versus actually doing it. And that's because when you do it, if and when you make your decision and whatever you decide, you don't want to go back on. Because it's going to be like, okay, when I'm done, I'm done. Or when I've made my decision, I've made my decision. There's no renegotiation because you don't want the drama and the chaos. And enough of this. Good Lord, nobody needs that. Your partner could meet you halfway and nurture and offer that stability. This is 10 of Pentacles. But they're not. The thing is, for the Libras that I'm reading for, they're choosing not to. That's what's bothersome here, is that this is someone that's almost like easy come, easy go, and you're doing a lot of the effort, and it's kind of, I don't want to say naive, but it's a very innocent gesture on your part. You had a lot of faith in this, or you're thinking, well, this is just in the interim, and then eventually it'll settle down or return to stasis or whatnot. It's not. Your person likes it this way. I think for some of you that might be an eye-opener. What else for Libra? So Empress is asking you to consider future options, figure out if you want to keep doing this. But to go inward and figure out what you want, to get that logic and intuition meeting and thinking of your options and using your logic and intuition, trying as much as you can. Now I'm talking Libras, but not becoming emotional. We don't have a lot of cups here, but there's a cup there. So this isn't going to be an emotional decision. Why? Because it needs to stick. Everybody says make decisions with your heart. You know what they mean when they say that? They mean logic and intuition. So with your soul and with your head, your heart will follow. Because you need to do what's best for you here. You know that. So we got 10, 10. Yep, change is coming. Again, though, you're going to be, for much of this year, though, you're going to be, it's either you're going to be biding your time and eventually do something when you come up with a solution that you're like, you know what, I can live with that. I'm good when it feels right. Or you're going to make a decision quite quickly, and then the rest of the year is going to be examining this, and this person is still going to be coming back, quite possibly asking, and you're going to be like, nope, I've made my decision. So, okay. All right. You have good, strong family connection and values here, and this, whatever you're dealing with is going against that, and you're tired of the drama because it's affecting more than you. So, what else for Libra? Thank you. There's that High Priestess, that logic and intuition. Okay. 10 of Swords. And that looks to be, I'm going to double check, but I think it's reversed. Using logic and intuition to let go of the anger, pain, and sadness and move forward. Couldn't have said it better myself. And I didn't say it better than that. Aha! It is reversed. Okay. That's 10 of Swords reversed. So this is... my microphone? Yes, I do. There's Pisces or Cancerian here. This is High Priestess. And this is a 10 of Swords reversed. So pulling back from this, disengaging, because you, most likely either you're trying to figure out what to do, or you already have and you're like, I can't abide this anymore. And you are using logic and intuition and reconnecting with yourself and letting your intuition guide you on how to navigate the rest of this year dealing with this dynamic. Not out of pettiness or anger. You're past that. I just want my life back. I want me back. And this is you getting it back using logic and intuition, and making some changes after you've realized what you need to do after thinking about it. Okay. All right, Libra. So our Empress is asking that you prioritize yourself and find a way back to your security and stability. And it looks like that's going to be bolstering you to do so. That she's like, we got you. We got you. Logic and intuition showing up to guide you. You're good. Don't worry. Spend this time thinking about this because you do have time here. She's not saying you got to make a decision, this and that. This is her bolstering you. This is as far as what nurtures you this year, what you need to do. Again, you've got time to think about what your next move is. And if it's already happened, this is in the aftermath, you getting through this, connecting with your intuition and source, and figuring out what you want for your future, and letting that guide you, the ending, the transformation, the rebirth. Okay. Love and support to you this year, Libra. I hope this was helpful. I hope to see you in the next reading. Thank you for stopping by. You take care.